I'm channeling emo. Sorry, I can't do this anymore. Whoa. So I watched this video one time that I saw on my feed, and it was this guy who had a plastic bag on his head, and the stuff he had to say was interesting, but I didn't subscribe because it was like kind of get, you know, where you're coming from. You're trying to get people to listen to you. Cool. And then I completely forgot all about that person, and then a while later I saw them again in my feed, and I'm like, oh hey, it's a plastic bag on his head guy, and I just kept scrolling, and I'm like, I haven't thought about it until just recently. Well, just before I started this, and I was thinking about bringing emo back, or what was the other thing I was really wanting to do? Steampunk. Is it too late? Can I bring steampunk back? And then the other thoughts I was having was, oh, I had my hat on backwards. I think, I don't know, was how this is kind of deep, so hold your horses. So it went cowboys versus Indians to Indians becoming cowboys, and Indians also becoming hippies, and then the hippies became hipsters. Oh, and what's really gonna blow your hat off or knock your socks off or however that goes is I I am claiming the label of a cowboy Indian. Like, I'm resolving the struggle right here and now. This is putting it to bed. Something, you know. In case any of you aren't aware, um, my kind used to be called Indians, then American Indian, and then that wasn't cool anymore, so everyone tried to pretend that didn't happen. To Native Americans, which I never fully understood because anyone born here would be a Native American. I remember one time someone got really upset with me and told me how or what I could call myself because I called myself an Indian. And, when I was a kid, that's what we were. That's what I figured out from watching movies. So, yeah, I like, okay, at first, and then I'm like, no. Who are you to say what I can or cannot call myself? I don't really identify with that label as much, but here we are, like, as much as I, toss aside any kind of label that I think might fit or I don't vibe with or what have you, I this guy is still here, So it's an interesting journey, definitely. I wanted to share an experience that I had today. I fired myself up and went to the grocery store to get some jam for my jammy birds, which I come to find, talking to my wife, it's actually jelly. So I guess I have jelly birds. I don't know. The conflict, it continues, man. What do I do? Jelly birds. Maybe ignorance is bliss, man. But I did actually put jam out for them, which is weird because we ran out of the grape jelly. Words. You say potato, I say French toast. Was I gonna make a point? Oh yes. Left my house, went to the store, and my wife was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I tore my hamstring a month ago, and it's been flaring up lately. And I was like, "I think I can do this," you know. And I sucked it up, and I have an issue with my mobility. So, dun, 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 dun. I was like, okay, suck it, pride. You know, like you are gonna support yourself. You're gonna take care of yourself. Your leg is not a hundo, and this will help even the score. So I went out by myself and parked as close as I could to the entrance, and unfortunately, at one point I broke my left leg, and I had to do physical therapy, and they taught me how to use a cane. So I use that knowledge today for my other leg that has the hamstring injury. And this is like an invisibility cloak. I don't know if anyone out there has to use one of these on a regular basis, but woo, brought back some memories, and then just experiencing using this just right off the bat, like, oh, don't want to catch that. Even going into the entrance, there was carts in front of the small carts. Well, a cart. So I had to balance and turn the big cart, use my weight, push it out of the way. As an employee was like, do 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 do, like, I don't see you with that cane, and whatever. And just so many different things where, like, making my way around and, figured out how to balance on the shopping cart, and still had this hanging off my cart, and went to go look at some stuff, and I was trying to find some baked beans without sugar, and here there was a thing in the way, but I didn't know that's where the baked beans without sugar was. And here this woman was watching me, and she noticed me for like a second, but saw, I don't know, whatever. And even though she could see that, she even looked at it. She looked at the stool or step thing that was in the way of the rest of the beans, and she continued to walk and didn't say, "Oh, is that in your way? Can I help you with anything? I see that you're having some mobility issues." I was like, she was like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here." Whoo. And I don't know, like, do I look like a creeper? I didn't have my hair. This is actually, I actually had this back, whatever. I wasn't wasn't wearing a cowboy hat. Was I wearing a hat at all? I don't think so. But anyway, like I have to think about that. Like, how am I perceived? Am I like scary? Am I scary today, even with my cane? Like. But I guess I must have been, and or not. Maybe this is all just misperceptions in my head. You know. But I don't know. But anyway, all of that, I got back home, and here I remembered something. I remembered something that I did, and where I made someone feel invisible, whether they were aware of it or not, and they had a disability, and they always had to use a cane whenever they walked, but it wasn't for balance, it was for sight. They were blind, and I knew that, and I knew them from a long time ago, and we weren't the friendliest, but we were paired up because he was of the same descent that I am, even though I didn't know him, and he was not fully, you know, to the place that he was when I saw him. But I didn't acknowledge him, even though I knew that that was him, and I used his disability to hide, and I don't feel right about that. And it's really, looking at that was really hard, like, oh shit, like that was a really dick move on my part, and I'm sorry, like if you ever, I'm just sending this out, like, man, but everything worked out okay, like I was able to get the bag from, I don't know why I grabbed one bag, but I had all the weight on one bag. So, but I was able to get that in the cart and secure it, and get my stuff in there, and everything was okay. When I got home, I carried the bag of oranges, and my wife was able to get the rest, and then after that I had the memory, and it's really something where, being able to see where I'm like feeling like the victim, and then I remember, like where I was, you know, intentionally, unintentionally, what have you. Like, in one way you could look at it is I was the perpetrator. Is that how that works? And then, like, seeing a lot of other things from different sides, and it's so amazing and fascinating, and there's so many different ways to learn and look at things, and and you can always watch something else, because there's not going to be anyone that's going to come and pull me off stage, you know. Um, yeah. Um, it was just amazing to think about that, and also think about other people that I've known in my life that have struggled with losing their mobility, um, and how difficult that can be for a person. Someone who was once really athletic, to not being able to do simple things like stairs. Like, that's it. Like, I can't go there because there's no stairs. And man, I can't even fully grasp how difficult, you know, that that would be. And I I really I really hope that my leg heals, which I imagine it will, and I'll be able to do more things that I want to do. Like one thing that I thought about recently is maybe doing some stuff with movement. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you for listening. Um, if I have any more thoughts that I can pull together that are somewhat coherent, I will make another video. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.